the heart of the city, where the shadows linger and secrets thrive, there exists a tale about a stranger. This stranger, a figure cloaked in mystery, seems to weave in and out of the lives of those who dare to cross their path. They carry with them a burden, an unsettling knowledge that could change everything. As we delve into this story, let us tread carefully, for the truths that lie ahead may lead us down a dark and winding road. Imagine a quiet cafe tucked away on a dimly lit street. The air is thick with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, mingling with the whispers of patrons engaged in their own lives. In this familiar setting, one person stands apart, a stranger. They sit alone at a corner table, their eyes scanning the room with an unsettling awareness. It's as if they see more than just the people around them. They see their fears, their desires, the very essence of their souls. As the days pass, this stranger becomes a fixture in the cafe. Regulars begin to notice their presence, a looming shadow that seems to grow more pronounced with each visit. Conversations shift as they feel the weight of the stranger's gaze, and laughter fades into hushed tones. What was once a haven of camaraderie now feels like a stage, with the stranger as the silent observer, holding the script of everyone's lives. But who is this stranger? What truths do they carry? Some whisper that they possess the ability to see into the future, while others claim they can reveal the darkest secrets of those around them. The more they observe, the more the tension in the cafe builds. People start to avoid eye contact, unsure of what the stranger might know about them. Among the regulars is a woman named Clara. She's a writer, often seeking inspiration in the stories of others. The stranger's presence intrigues her, yet it also unnerves her. One evening, as Clara sits at her usual table, she feels the stranger's eyes on her. She looks up, and their gaze locks for a fleeting moment. There's an intensity there, a knowing that sends shivers down her spine. Driven by curiosity and fear, Clara decides to approach the stranger. She takes a deep breath, her heart racing, and walks over to their table. "Do you mind if I sit?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper. The stranger nods, a slight smile playing on their lips. "What brings you to this cafe?" they inquire, their voice low and melodic. Clara hesitates, unsure of how to answer. "I come here to write," she finally admits. "But lately, it feels like I'm running out of ideas." The stranger leans in closer, their expression shifting from curiosity to something deeper, something almost foreboding. "Sometimes, inspiration is hidden in the shadows," they say cryptically. "What if I told you that you already possess the story you seek?" Clara's heart races. There's a thrill in their words, but also a lingering dread. What story could she possibly have that she didn't already know? The stranger leans back, observing her with an intensity that feels both inviting and alarming. Days turn into weeks, and Clara finds herself drawn to the stranger, returning to the cafe each evening, compelled to uncover the truth behind their enigmatic nature. Other patrons begin to notice her fixation, murmurs spreading through the cafe like wildfire. Has she lost her mind? One whispers. Why does she keep talking to that stranger? Another asks. But Clara can't help herself. There's something magnetic about the stranger, an allure that is impossible to resist. Each conversation reveals more layers of their character, and with every exchange, Clara feels an unsettling truth begin to surface. The stranger begins to share fragments of their life, tales of loss and longing, stories that weave through the fabric of time. I have seen the darkness that lurks within people, they confess one evening, their voice barely above a whisper. I have felt the weight of their secrets, the burdens they carry. Clara's breath hitches. The stories are haunting, and yet they resonate with her own experiences. She feels a connection to the stranger, an understanding that transcends words. But as the nights grow colder, so too does the atmosphere in the café. The whispers become more pronounced, and the patrons' glances grow more accusatory. One rainy night, Clara arrives at the café to find it nearly empty. She searches for the stranger, but they are nowhere to be seen. A sense of unease settles over her. Just as she begins to doubt her decision to seek them out, the door creaks open, and the stranger steps inside, drenched from the rain. "Why do you seek me?" they ask, their voice filled with a mix of curiosity and caution. Clara takes a moment to gather her thoughts. "I need to know what you see," she responds, her voice trembling. "I need to understand why you know so much." The stranger hesitates, their expression shifting as if weighing the consequences of their next words. "What I know can be a curse," they finally say. "There are things in this world that are better left undiscovered. Would you still wish to know?" Clara's heart races. Could she truly handle the truth? The stranger's gaze pierces through her, and for a moment, she sees reflections of her own fears and regrets. "Yes," she breathes, the word escaping her lips like a fragile promise. With that, the stranger begins to reveal the depths of their knowledge. They speak of a hidden world that exists alongside the mundane, a realm where darkness thrives and secrets fester. "There are people among us who harbor intentions that could shatter lives," the stranger warns. "And some truths, once uncovered, cannot be ignored." As the stranger speaks, Clara feels a chill creeping up her spine. The stories they weave are filled with despair, cautionary tales about the cost of knowledge. "There are those who would do anything to keep their secrets buried," they say, their voice growing more urgent. "And if you continue to seek the truth, you may become a target." The weight of their words hangs heavily in the air, as if the very walls of the café are closing in around her. Clara glances around, feeling the eyes of the other patrons watching her, judging her choices. "What should I do?" she asks, her voice trembling with fear. The stranger leans closer, their expression grave. "You must decide if the truth is worth the price you may have to pay," they reply. "There are paths that lead to darkness, and you may find yourself unable to return." With those words, the stranger rises from the table, leaving Clara with a whirlwind of emotions. Fear, excitement, uncertainty, all intertwine as she grapples with the implications of their revelation. Days pass, and Clara finds herself haunted by the stranger's words. She becomes increasingly aware of the shadows around her, the hidden truths lurking in every corner of her life. The café, once a sanctuary, now feels like a prison, filled with whispers and watchful eyes. In her quest for understanding, Clara begins to dig deeper into the lives of those around her. She overhears conversations, observes interactions, and slowly uncovers secrets that had been buried beneath the surface. Each revelation brings a mix of exhilaration and dread, but as she delves deeper, Clara realizes she is not the only one seeking the truth. A sense of paranoia begins to creep in. She feels eyes on her, shadows lurking just beyond her line of sight. The weight of her discoveries becomes unbearable, and she starts to question her own sanity. One fateful night, she returns to the café to find the stranger waiting for her, their expression unreadable. "You've been searching," they state, not as a question, but as a fact. Clara nods, her heart pounding in her chest. "I had to know," she admits, her voice barely a whisper. The stranger's gaze intensifies, and for the first time, Clara sees a flicker of concern in their eyes. "You must be cautious," they warn. "There are forces at play that you cannot begin to comprehend. You've opened a door that may lead to your undoing." Clara feels the weight of their words sinking in. "What do you mean?" she asks, her voice trembling. The stranger leans closer, their voice low and urgent. "You are not the only one who knows too much. There are others, and they will stop at nothing to protect their secrets." Fear grips Clara as the stranger's words sink in. The tension in the air is palpable, and she realizes that her quest for knowledge has put her in grave danger. As the cafe's lights flicker ominously, Clara feels a sense of foreboding wash over her. The stranger's warning echoes in her mind, and she understands that the truth she sought may come at a terrible cost. In that moment, she must decide. Will she continue down this dark path, risking everything to uncover the hidden truths of the world around her? Or will she turn back, leaving the shadows behind and returning to the safety of ignorance? As the weight of her choice looms, the stranger stands, their expression grave. "The decision is yours," they say, their voice barely above a whisper. "But remember, some knowledge is a curse, and once you know, you cannot unknow." As the stranger walks away, Clara feels a chill settle over her, a haunting realization that the stranger knows far more than she ever could. And now, she too carries the burden of knowledge, a shadow that will forever linger in the corners of her mind. In the darkness of the café, as the last remnants of the evening fade away, Clara's heart races. The echoes of the stranger's words linger, a haunting reminder that some truths are better left undiscovered. And as she grapples with her choice, the shadows grow deeper, weaving a web of uncertainty around her, leaving her forever entwined in the chilling narrative of a stranger who knows too much.